Right, I first started running again back in the first lockdown after about 20 years. Now, the reason I started running is because I was furloughed from work, so I couldn't go to work. I'd been diagnosed with BPD, or borderline personality disorder, and I was really struggling with my mental health. And at the time, I was absolutely terrified of being locked up on my own for 24 hours a day, unable to escape my own brain, because at that point, work had been my escape. It had been my sort of safe place from my own brain and my own mind. Yeah, I started going out originally for about an hour a day a walk, because that's what we're allowed out. We're allowed out for an hour a day. I started going out for probably closer to 3 or 4 hours every day. Just as I say, it was for my own safety. I couldn't afford to be locked up in my own flat with my own devices and on my own, because yeah, it was a dangerous place at the time for how bad I was. As I say, yeah, I started going out for 3 or 4 hours a day. I started off walking, then I started off jogging, then I started off running. And when I first went into that lockdown, I was, as I say, very, very depressed, and I was also very, very overweight. Now, by the end of that lockdown, I was a completely different person. I went from people worrying that I wouldn't even make it out the other side of lockdown alive to being 3.5, nearly 4 stone lighter, completely different person, much happier. And then when the gyms opened, I started going to the gym and ended up going from this to this. So yeah, the massive difference. But yeah, it kind of sparked my love for running and fitness at that point, which I'd lost because I hadn't run, as I say, for about 20 years. When I last run before that, I was running a 5K in sub 16 minutes. Admittedly, that was a one-time thing. Usually it was sub 17, but yeah, I digress. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of a little bit of a history on how I first got into this sort of thing again. But yeah, fast forward a little bit, I met my girlfriend, or now, my now fiance, and she was an avid park runner and was also a run leader with the Badgers of Baddesley, which is a running group, or running club, should I say. So I used to get my arse dragged to training on a Tuesday night, to circuit sessions with Run For You on a Wednesday, and I started getting dragged on a regular basis to parkrun as well. And I started to really enjoy it. I started to love it. And I started to love that sort of lift I got, the endorphins that started coursing around my body. I felt happy. I felt great. You know, I had got started taking less painkillers. I was fitter, healthier. Again, my mindset was even better than it was before. But yeah, that's kind of how this all started.